Hey guys, welcome back to my channel.
So the Victoria's Secret fashion show recently aired. I'm a little bit late to the game on this type of video, but I was really inspired by the makeup that Charlotte Tilbury did for that show. I think she did just a beautiful job of creating very soft, elegant, natural looking makeup that just looks flawless.
Seamless.
Ever since the makeup from that show was released in social media, I've been pretty much just incorporating those techniques and those looks into my daily routine. And I wanted to kind of recreate that on screen for you guys and show you guys a very soft glam makeup look, because I know a lot of you guys have been requesting that. It's inspired by the kind of new technique of Instagram makeup that we see going around right now, which is, I think it's a lot more relaxed and a lot more natural looking. I just really like it. So I want to recreate it for you guys on screen today and just show you guys a more soft, blown out glam look. This is just my one chance at my obligatory beauty guru video of doing a copper smoky eye and a nude lip.
Literally so pigmented.
But if you want to see how I got this Victoria's Secret inspired, just very natural Instagram model makeup look,
let's get this red.
Let's get right into it. Alright, so I'm going to start off the look with the TATCHA Silk Canvas Primer. This is my favorite primer for everything. I'm just focusing that in on mostly the center of my face, T-zone area, but pretty much everywhere just to get that nice smooth base down. For foundation, I'm actually going to be mixing two together. So I have the BECCA Skin Love foundation, which has been one of my favorite foundations lately. For the Victoria's Secret show, Charlotte Tilbury used her own foundation, which I think is very similar to the Flower Beauty Light Illusion. This one on its own is a little bit too dewy for me. I just prefer a bit more of a skin-like finish as opposed to like a crazy, shiny, glowy finish, but I know some people love this. It's so interesting to me seeing how like trends change, especially on social media. There's kind of like two different types of Instagram makeup that I really follow and enjoy. There's obviously like the artistic and creative side, which you'll see me doing and posting on my social media, but then there's also undone, really subtle looking, but still beautifully done, natural looking makeup, which you'll see a lot of artists doing, as well as some really beautiful like Instagram models and stuff. And I love that style of makeup. That is what I wear on a daily basis when I'm not doing the crazy, like super overdone looks, which I love. I love both. I love the creative aspect of makeup. I love how people are kind of embracing both sides. But it's so interesting to me because I remember when the like typical Instagram model makeup used to be like your typical super dramatic winged liner, brown eyeshadows, really bright highlighter. And now it's kind of like natural skin, embracing your natural textures and imperfections, kind of highlighting freckles, highlighting whatever you think that makes your skin or face unique. I wanted to kind of share a look like this on my channel because I do the other type of makeup so often on here, and I never really show you guys what I'm wearing on pretty much a daily basis. For the VS shows, Charlotte seemed to have gone in with more of a full coverage concealer to kind of counteract the very like light and dewy foundation she did. So I'm gonna use the Huda Beauty Overachiever concealer. I actually have not tested this one out yet, so this is my first time trying it. I have the shade Cotton Candy. I'm not gonna apply a ton because A, it's a bit of a lighter makeup look today. We'll see how it blends out. Oh, that is so nice. I was really worried about this one because normally when things are in kind of a squeezy tube like this, they tend to be very like thick and moussey and just not blend out the best, but that was really easy to blend out, and I feel like it doesn't look like heavy at all on the under eyes. So I'm liking how this concealer is looking. I don't normally like to do first impressions here on my channel just because I feel like they're not always accurate, so do expect me to touch back in on this one and review it in full later on after I've tested it out more. Just for the sake of caution, I want to set it immediately, so I'm gonna go in with the Essence Brighten Up Banana Powder. I really love the way that Charlotte kind of brightened up the model's under eyes for the look. I thought she did a really nice job of making it look super smooth and just highlighted. I wanted to kind of replicate that. I'm sure she used one of her own powders, but
help me, I'm poor.
Now, before I go in and powder the face down, I wanted to use a cream contour, so I'm going to use my Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Contour Wand. I know that she actually did use this product on the models, so I figured I'd use it now. And then just going ahead and blending it out with my e.l.f. Cream Contour Brush. Oh, update on the whole nose contouring thing. As you guys know, I've had a tenuous relationship with nose contouring because I personally do not like the shape of my nose, so I've tried to learn how to contour, and it's like one of the parts of makeup that I'm not the best at. I feel like everyone has that one thing that they're just like not, it's not their thing, and nose contouring is like not my thing. I'm not good at it, but I want to be better at it, so I've been trying to like learn and teach myself, and I think I've kind of gotten it down a lot better than I used to do it. It's still not perfect, and it definitely doesn't look as like snatched as I'd like it to, but I've kind of just been taking my time with it and going in with a lot like softer motions. So as you can see, I'm kind of doing like a patting motion as opposed to like a draggy motion, and I feel like that looks a lot better. Even when I just like look back to like a year ago doing my makeup, I can see what I was doing, and it was a big rip.
No, 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 no.
Okay, now that I've contoured, I'm gonna go ahead and grab my Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish Skin Perfecting Micro Powder in the shade Fair and just dust that all over. I saw a video on Instagram of Charlotte using this on Romy's face. Her technique is just so beautiful. She just kind of like lightly dusts like this in one continuous motion rather than just like kind of like patting it on. Alright, now continuing onto the cheeks. For bronzer today, I'm actually going to use the AOA Studio Perfect Blush in the shade Fino, which I think is a bronzer, not a blush. It's pretty much just like brown. It seems that Charlotte did a really nice job of warming up the cheeks while also making sure it was really blown out and diffused, so it didn't look like a nice like big shock of bronzer on the cheeks. It just kind of looked like the face was naturally warm. So I want to try and achieve that look, so I'm going to go in very, very lightly, just kick off wherever I can. Just kind of buffing it inwards and lightly warming up the face. I've recently just kind of become such a like blush and bronzer person. I'm so passionate about cheek products now.
That was like the saddest makeup intro ever.
But I am actually using a very colorful blush today, so the blush I'm using is also an AOA Studio Perfect Blush. This is the shade Auburn, so it's a really beautiful, like vibrant, kind of reddish brown shade, and it looks like a little bit darker of a blush than I technically should be using, but there are no rules. I just go in with a very, very soft touch, and I feel like it just gives the most beautiful, like natural warmth. So I'm just going in with a very, very fluffy brush, and I use a tiny amount, and I'm just kind of buffing that in with the bronzer. So I don't really have a ton of product left, but just taking whatever I have left, I'm actually going to kind of bring it up towards the forehead, and it seems kind of weird to put a little bit of blush up here, but it's just really ensuring that everything looks nice and natural, and you're establishing a little bit back of that redness, but not too much, if that makes sense. And now I want to go in with highlight. So I'm actually going to use the Farsali Jelly Beam, which is kind of weird. I tried to avoid hitting this like cheekbone area and up here with powder. I tried to just focus the powder in the T-zone when I used it. So hopefully this won't really cause any problems, but I love this one for the way it just kind of melts into the skin. And hopefully when I put in setting spray and everything, it'll just all melt together into one beautiful thing. So I like using this with my fingers. I feel like it just doesn't really work that well with a brush, but this is a beautiful like natural pearlescent glow. I feel like just bringing it up around the socket of the eye gives it a really gorgeous natural effect to the shine, so it just looks like kind of like sweat, like you're just kind of glowing from the inside, and it's not like a highlighter you focused on your cheek. Oops, sorry, I'm a popular girl. Just kidding, that was my mom. I'm sure you've seen the really nice like fluffy Instagram brows. It's kind of the new thing. They used to be like super sculpted out and just like snatched brows, and now they're very natural and fluffy and wispy, and I really like that. So a lot of the brows that I saw in the Victoria's Secret fashion show were kind of that same Instagram fluffier brows. So today I'm actually going to use a brow pencil, which I don't normally do. I usually go in with dip brow no matter what kind of makeup I'm doing, but today I'm going to use my Anastasia Brow Wiz in the shade dark brown. So I'm just going to start off in the front. I like to start at the bottom of my brow and then kind of sculpt out and lightly define upwards. So just putting a tiny bit of product in and then pushing it through the brows using the spoolie. I also want to kind of define the tail of the brow, so I'm just going to do that with a pencil really quick. For me, the brow pencil when doing this type of brow look is just to fill in some extra hairs where I don't have anything or where it's kind of sparse. And then I'm going to go in with brow gel to actually color in the brows. It's actually kind of ironic though that effortless looking makeup takes somewhat more effort than really dramatic looking makeup, because it doesn't take a lot for me to just kind of swoop on some winged liner or just blend out full coverage foundation, but to get that kind of like subtly dewy glow or just very like no makeup look, I actually spend a lot more time sometimes, which is funny, but I really like the effect that it gives, and I love that the Instagram community has kind of been embracing that look, because I feel like that hasn't been celebrated as much. So once I've kind of filled in the sparseness of my hairs, I'm gonna actually go in with a brow gel. This is the MAKIAGE Hypnotize Fill and Fix Brow Shaper. So this is a tinted brow gel basically. And I'm gonna run it through, brushing upwards in the front to just kind of feather out the brows. And then towards the back, I'm pressing a little bit harder to get more pigmentation out of the brow gel. Alright, I kind of look weird. This brow is a little bit darker than this one, but I don't care. Because it's time to do eyeshadow, and I noticed that Charlotte didn't really do the same eye look on every single model. So I looked at Romy's makeup and Elsa's makeup, and they were very, very different. So I'm going to kind of do my fusion of both. I think what Charlotte was kind of going for was suiting the eye looks to the different eye shapes of the models, because they definitely have very different bone structures. And I think that's really smart. So I wanted to kind of do what I think is best for my type of eye and bone structure, but I'm going to start off by priming my eyes using Urban Decay Primer Potion in the shade Fix. Y'all know the deal. So for this eye look, I'm pretty much just going to be using the Dose of Colors DESI KATY Friendcation Palette, which I realize I've been raving about for like 2 months, but I haven't actually used on my channel before in a Get Ready With Me, so figured I'd do it today because I love these colors for like everyday neutral looks, as well as some crazy bold brights as well. I just feel like it's a really versatile palette. So first I'm going to start off by going into the shade here in the middle called Necessary. Starting off, I'm going in to where my eye socket is, so right above the crease, but right below where my brow bone is. Just right here, and I'm just buffing this in. Since it's a cool tone brown, it's gonna do its thing and just kind of shape out this natural crease line while also diffusing everything really well. So I love going with a bit of a fluffier brush to do this one and just kind of get this very natural sort of cut crease, but not really. Follow the darkness that naturally exists on my eye, so whether that's just due to the fact that I get literally no sleep or the fact that I do have like a pretty prominent bone here, I think just following that natural socket of your eye does a really nice job in shaping out a look that's really flattering for your eye shape. So as you can see, I did one off camera. I told myself I was gonna do both eyes on camera this time, and then I didn't. I'm gonna go into this shade down here. It's kind of like a warmer saddle brown, and this is called Huda. I like that name. It's kind of like a cinnamon color. I think it's very accurate. So just taking this one on a bit of a smaller, kind of denser, more precise brush, but still with enough fluffiness to blend it out. This is the AOA Studio E128. And now what I'm gonna do is, first I'm gonna focus it on the very outer edge, just kind of building up this V shape on the outer edge and bringing that warmth a little bit through the crease and keeping it very, very precise. I don't want to blend it too much because we got a nice diffusion with the cooler tone brown shade. This time I'm really just trying to sculpt out this defined lid shape. Really, really love the Dose of Colors formula. I feel like it's just so easy to blend out, and that was super, super fast to diffuse onto the eyes. So I'll zoom you guys in so you can see what we're working with right now. Now into an even more precise brush. This is the AOA Studio E132. I'm gonna go ahead and grab this like darkest brown shade up here. This is called Cheens. And this I'm gonna focus very, very precisely on the very corner, just kind of burrowing it in to the very deepest part to make it look like I have a dense shadow on the outer corner. Something that was really interesting to me when I was looking at the looks from the Victoria's Secret show was that Charlotte sometimes kept the look all matte, and then sometimes she used a shimmer. So on Romy, she did an all matte look on the eyes, and then for Elsa, she did a really nice, beautiful shimmery lid. So I'm gonna kind of do the best of both worlds. So I'm gonna go into this kind of champagne pearl shade here called Just a Kiss. These are the basically Block Party shimmer formula, so they are intense and like wet looking shimmers. I'll show you guys. Just taking it on my middle finger, not trying to flip you off, and very, very lightly patting it on. And you can see already how intense that is. So I'm keeping it right in that template that I sketched out using the brown shadows. This look is beautiful also for like a holiday party, which is actually what I'm getting ready for. I have a holiday party tonight, so this is the look I'm gonna wear. But it's also just gorgeous for the everyday. It really is the most effortless, beautiful look. I'm gonna go back into that dark brown shade called Cheens, and again, just use that to, first of all, diffuse the shimmer in, and then again, just go above it to sculpt out that lid. To even everything out, I'm gonna do the lower lash line now, so I'm gonna go ahead and back into the shade Churro, and then also into the cool tone brown shade called Necessary. Now to finish up the eyes, I know Charlotte Tilbury used her own Lashes mascara, which I personally don't like, so I'm not going to use that. Instead, I'm going to use the Hourglass Caution Mascara, which is my favorite for like holiday parties or just kind of anything, because it's like the most waterproof mascara without actually being a waterproof mascara. It lasts through traumatic life experiences, crying, everything pretty much. You want to stop it there. This is one of those eye looks where I feel like you can totally just wear it with mascara. You do not need lashes, but this is me. I'm doing lashes. I also know that Charlotte didn't actually use any lashes for her models, but still I really, really wanted to use these beautiful ones from Pure. These are the Bombshell Silk Lashes. One of my favorite styles of kind of like more dramatic lashes that still work with very minimal eye looks like this one. So it's super fluffy and very long, but it also doesn't look fake, so you can kind of pass them off as your natural lashes. This is the eye look. I really like how it turned out, and now we're just gonna finish off the look with some lips. For most of the models, Charlotte did this kind of like pink toned lip, and she mostly used her lip cheat lip liners, but I'm just gonna use my favorite lip liner in the shade 951 from Colourpop and I Love Sarahi. And now I'm gonna finish it off with the Fenty Beauty Stunna Lip Paint in the shade Fenty Glow, the original one. I am planning on buying the new color because I freaking love the Fenty Beauty Gloss Bomb. And now just to kind of melt everything down, I'm gonna go in with my freaking baby, the Trader Joe's Rosewater Facial Toner. This I use as a very fine setting mist because it just adds this extra layer of dewiness, but also just melts all the makeup in and makes everything look beautiful. Alright guys, so here's the finished look. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I really enjoyed just kind of a more relaxed makeup look as well as kind of a chattier get ready with me style video. I really love doing these for you guys, and this was something I was wanting to do. I wasn't sure if anyone wanted to see, but I know I've gotten a lot of requests to do a very beginner focused, more natural makeup look instead of what I normally do. So I hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribed down below, and also make sure you're following me on Instagram to see makeup looks that look nothing like this, posted almost every single day. I'm really trying. But yeah, if you made it to the very end of this video, I love you so much. Thank you guys so much for watching this channel. Bye.